Hi, everyone, and welcome to Spirit Speaks Oracle Readings. My name is Tessa, and I'm so happy to have you here with me today. Today, I'm going to bring you a reading around the competition mindset, okay? So I've got some card decks that I definitely want to use, but I've been in meditation with my angels, and they've been wanting me to share my story with you and give you my thoughts around the competition mindset, okay? They want everyone to know that life is not a race. It is not a competition. I have been getting the strong and consistent message over the past 6 months that slow and steady wins the race. Okay, so we have to shift our minds out of competition. And I saw a lot of this back when I was in college. I went to the University of Florida, go Gators, here in the United States of America. And our sports teams, our football team, basketball team, soccer team, baseball team, you name it, they were so competitive, okay? Which I know that sports are supposed to be a competition. However, the fans, not just the athletes or anything like that, it became something ugly to a degree. There's good old fashioned sportsmanship and competition that way, but when it turns from something like that into a us versus them mentality, it promotes hatred. Okay, it promotes the outsider vibe, the stranger, stranger danger, like just paranoia and fear, that pretty much anyone other than you and your family, your tribe, so to speak, is bad, and that's just not how it is. But I noticed this conditioning pattern after college more than when I was at college. And that's because I moved to the mountains. I moved to the Rocky Mountains, and just had a blast out here, hiking, camping, snowboarding, you name it. Really loved it. Spent several years here in the Rocky Mountains. And it truly changed me, okay? I've always found therapy in nature. Always loved, being outdoors and doing activities outdoors. So like I said, hiking and camping were right up my alley. Always wanted to do that. But spending that quality time in the forest, it's really, honestly, so much like John Muir, where he says, "Into the forest I go to lose my mind and find my soul." 100% accurate, okay, that quote, because that's exactly what happened to me. I lost my mind, so to speak. I rid myself of that competition mindset when I was in tune with nature. My connection to God and the angels strengthened for certain the more I spent outdoors in nature. Okay, so that's my number one recommendation for you is get out in nature if you want to connect with the universe, if you want to connect with God. And then and shift your perspective. When I came back to Florida, I live in Colorado now, but when I came back to Florida in the United States, I saw how much hatred there was, from one school to another school, and like their rival enemies. And people would really get so consumed, they would be destroyed when their team, lost, or they'd be on cloud nine when their team won. But it was really a lot about an us versus them mentality the whole time. And then I saw how these same people, these same sports fans, I'm not saying sports fans are bad or anything. I'm just saying, in my own personal experience, I was a college student. I most definitely love to tailgate. I was there when Tim Tebow was in football at the University of Florida. So I really had a spectacular time there, but it really did. You would look at the rival teams with such disdain, okay, like almost hatred, and people would actually go to the extreme sometime of vandalizing cars and things like that, or something that had the logo of the other team. And I mean, that's just nonsense. Politics has that today. I'm not going to touch on that subject in this conversation, but yeah, it really has that us versus them mentality, this waging war against one another, so to speak. And if you want to increase your connection with the divine, with God, with your own spirit guides and guardian angels, that's not the way to do it. It's going to be a long time coming for you if you stick with that mindset. But truly what helped me was breaking those patterns of conditioning when I lived out in the mountains and spent a lot of time in the forest and out in nature. I sometimes felt like Tom Hanks in the movie Castaway, where he tries to come back into society and assimilate after being stuck on an island for however many years he was, and being alone just with himself. You really get to know yourself in those type of situations, and spending time in nature. That's a form of meditation, okay, for me, 100%. It restores peace into my world. It allows me to let go of just a lot of the craziness that society throws at you nowadays. And I really did feel fairly isolated. My family were pretty diehard sports fans, and when I came back from the mountains and didn't care to watch Florida Gator football game, they looked at me like very quizzically, like, who are you? Like, where's the Tessa we used to know? And the thing is, I'm evolving. I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly growing. I'm very proud of the growth that I've experienced so far. And my angels have been calling me shaman for years because I have this connection with spirit, with the divine. I am not only out in nature, but I use my crystals, and I get messages from my crystals. I meditate with them. I use oracle decks, tarot decks. I did a reading the other day. I'm not sure if you caught it, using my crystal ball. There's so many methods that you can utilize to connect with the divine. And if you're here watching this video, you are definitely searching for the truth, and you're trying to figure out your own ways to connect with the divine. And many of you are probably just like me and have these various tools that you've practiced with, that should be giving you plenty of signs and direction throughout the course of your life, okay? It's one big universal language, and you have to figure out the ways to speak the language of the universe, okay? Because your angels, God wants to help you. They want everything for your highest good. Your higher self, of course, wants everything for your highest goods. Ancestors, your loved ones, they want the very, very best for you. They want to connect with you, and they want to help guide you along, so that you go down the right path in life and you really experience love, true love and joy and happiness here on earth. You are a soul in a human body having an earth experience, okay? Having a human experience. We all are. Some of us just grow faster than others. Some of us figure things out a little quicker than others, because we're at a different vibration, a different frequency, and sometimes our loved ones, our friends, will have to catch up. And trust me, this wasn't an overnight thing for me. I've been on my own spiritual journey for at least 15 years, probably longer than that. But when I recognized what was happening, it's been a solid 15 years for me. So I've got some insights for you guys. Let's go ahead and pull a couple cards from my tarot deck for you about the competition mindset. Okay. All right, angels. What does the collective need to know about the competition mindset? Okay, I already feel your cards here. And I feel like I might need to pull a fourth card as well. Okay, so the very first card that I pulled for everyone is the Six of Swords. All right. In regards to the competition mindset, this definitely tells me that you should move away. Move away from whatever's unhealthy, whatever could potentially be toxic. If you have any type of extremists that you know that are extremely competitive with things, that's not good. Okay, that's not a peaceful situation. You want to be moving towards peace, and if you can see these people here, there's calm waters ahead. Okay, they're moving. There's blue skies. They're going to a peaceful environment. They're changing their perspective, because these are the swords. Okay, the swords are the suit of the mind, of your thoughts, and your perceptions, and so they're headed towards peaceful, calmer waters. All right, by changing their perception. And Spirit wants you to remember that life is not a race. It is not a competition. It is not us versus them mentality. Okay, that's not gonna improve anyone's lives to believe something like that. Then I have the Eight of Wands. Okay, so again, you know, moving to a better place. And then the Eight of Wands here, blue skies. Look at all those blue skies. These are definitely signs. Okay, signs and direction for you in your life. This video is one of those signs for you. Okay, this is confirmation that maybe you've already come to this realization about the competition mindset, or maybe you think of it a little differently. Please let me know in the comment section. Okay, I'd love to get everyone's opinions on this particular subject, and see if they've experienced this shift or not. But there will be directions, there will be signs. Like I said, especially out in nature for me, I see things in the trees. I see things in the rocks. Sometimes I see faces. Sometimes it's something else entirely. Animal spirit guides come to me as well. So I constantly am paying attention to any animals that I encounter, or, you know, even like a logo or a brand name, or, you know, it's some type of video I might come across with that animal spirits. But there could be numbers. I communicate with spirit through numbers for sure. My angels send me numbers constantly. Like I said, my crystals, my apophyllite here is what told me that I am a shaman. And I'm actually a Ghostbuster shaman, which I'm still trying to figure that out, because I am a big scaredy cat. I can't even watch scary movies. So I'm like, Ghostbuster, huh? Like, you know, how's that gonna work out for me? But we will see. You stick with me here. You are part of my spiritual journey, and I'm a part of your spiritual journey, and we'll see what comes of that later on. And then the third card that I pulled for you is the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so this is definitely giving, giving and receiving. There's this symbiosis, this energy exchange. I feel like I'm making the infinity symbol here, a give and a take. This is definitely a give and a take. You see the scales here. This is all about balance in giving and in receiving. Okay, with a competition mindset, that us versus them mentality is not giving and receiving. It's giving a lot of hate and a lot of disdain and really icky negative vibrations, negative frequencies that you don't want to do. This is definitely a higher frequency of love. Okay, of giving and receiving. You might be the giver in this situation, or you might be the receiver at this point in your life. And then the fourth card that I felt like pulling for you is the Seven of Swords. Okay, so what does this bring to mind for you? Okay, for me, when I see the Seven of Swords, I see this person trying to like get away with something. You know, he's taking these swords, he's kind of sneaking off. You know, he's very pleased with himself. You know, he's smirking there. But is that the mindset that you want to be? That kind of arrogant, cocky, you know, like neener, neener, neener is what I'm thinking of when you're a little kid. That type of mindset, and definitely with with sports, and I hate to pick just on sports, but we do, like I said, there's that us versus them mentality. It's the same way for politics too. Like I said, one day I'll have to do a conversation, a reading around politics, but that's such a touchy subject that it will have to wait for sure for another time. But you want to make sure that you are taking the high road in all things. All right. Don't have that that arrogant, cocky, like deceiving type of persona. That comes along with again the competition mindset, and it will definitely not restore any type of balance with giving and receiving, which is the type of flow that you should be aspiring to have in your life. And then I did want to pull one card from my Mystical Shaman Oracle deck, just to see what kind of shamanic wisdom would like to speak to you today. Okay, so one just jumped out, but I feel another one, so I guess we'll do two today. First that jumped out is Pachamama. Okay, Pachamama. That's a beautiful card. She is definitely, this is Mother Earth. This is Mother Gaia. Nature. Again, I've been talking about how my transformation definitely happened in nature, in the forest, in the mountains. So Pachamama is reaching out to you here with her own message. Again, such a beautiful card. There's lots of vibrance, lots of colors. I see the new and the full moon symbolized, as well as another, looks like moon. We have the number 40 here at the top of the card, which could be an angel number that you could check into to further clarify the message. Okay. And so the essence, it says Pachamama represents the unconditional love that the earth has for all her children, including the stones, the plants, the animals, and humans. She is the goddess of earth, also known as Gaia, who pervades all creation in our planet. Thanks to Pachamama, our timeless soul can experience life in a biological body. The joy and pain we taste during our brief time on Earth are invitations to discover the boundless love of Pachamama. Okay? So again, we are a soul in a biological body. We are having a human experience here on Earth, but we are our souls. Truly, that's our home, back in the heavens, in the divine here. And Pachamama is representing the unconditional love of Earth. Okay, all the love within all of nature, the trees, the stones, the forest, you name it. The invitation for you says, you are a child of the earth. Now is the time to eat right, love right, and be joyous, regardless of the circumstances you may find yourself in. Be grateful for your life, your body, and all that nourishes you. Pachamama invites you to relish each breath, embrace your joy and your pain equally, and discover love through both. Let Pachamama know how much you appreciate all her blessings with an act of service, such as planting a tree, helping save an endangered species, or protecting the ocean. So now is the time to really start focusing on how you can improve your life. Okay, eat right, love right, take care of yourself, your earthly body here. Take care of the earth. Pachamama invites you to do something of service for the earth. I live near a creek. I'm so blessed. Be grateful. I'm so blessed to live near the creek. My daughter and I, a couple times a year, we will walk with one of those little grabby sticks and a trash bag. And any trash that we see, we'll pick it up and throw it away. It says you could plant a tree as well, but you can do anything you want in service of nature, and just definitely spend some quality time in nature. I'm telling you, it is transformative. It is beautiful. There's so much to be grateful for. No matter what situation you are in, think of the cycles of nature as well. So if you're at a low point right now, if you were in like the season of winter, spring would be just around the corner for you. Spring and then summer, all that life, all that vibrance, all that joy and fertility. Okay, so don't ever think that you're stuck in whatever situation you're currently in. Think this too shall pass. Okay, that season, that cycle will move on. We've got the cycles of the moon represented here, of course. And so your cycle will turn just like the Wheel of Fortune card, okay? Just like fate and destiny turns for you. Okay, so connect with Mother Earth, with Mother Gaia, all right? Okay, and then that card that I felt I definitely needed to talk to you about is the Luminous Warrior card. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? Luminous Warrior, represented by all these two new moons, these full moons. Right there at the top of his head, that could be his crown chakra or third eye chakra actually illuminated there. We have the number 32 at the top of the card, which could be an angel number that you could check into to further clarify the message that the Luminous Warrior has for everybody out there. Says the Luminous Warrior has no enemies in this world or the next. Perfect. Yeah, remember the competition mindset, us versus them. All right, you truly have no enemies. It is not us versus them. We are all one. We are all connected. We are all souls, again, having an experience as a human here on earth. All right, I'll read it again. The Luminous Warrior has no enemies in this world or the next. He is impeccable in word and deed. He focuses on his light rather than on what hides in the dark. Since he casts no shadow, he is as radiant as the sun and can transform his most terrible enemy into his ally. His power comes not from the sword, but from speaking his truth at all costs. Absolutely. So I feel like many of you out there are on the journey to become a luminous warrior, or you already are a luminous warrior, and that's wonderful. Like if you came to this reading, you definitely are seeking the truth. You're seeking higher knowledge and speaking your truth at all costs. That's how you become a luminous warrior. Okay, that's if the truth is just out there all the time, there can't be any deception. Okay, and so those that are deceptive will not be attracted to your frequency when you tell the truth and when you seek the truth and when you express the truth. And that's what I'm trying to do right here with this YouTube channel, is I am trying to connect everyone with the truth, okay, with source, with spirit. The invitation for you says, the Luminous Warrior reminds you it is important to focus on your power, wisdom, and beauty. Do not be seduced by what seems wrong with you or with the world. Remember that intention follows attention. So focus on your positive traits. Feed your light with more light until you feel truly empowered. There will be little need for action as you resolve all situations from within. Okay, so that's basically calling for you to love yourself. Okay, you can't pour from an empty cup. So make sure that all your positive traits, that you are grateful for those, you acknowledge those, and know that you are a wonderful human, okay? We are all going through this journey. We have ups and downs for sure. We have rough patches. So don't beat yourself up. Don't be hard on yourself. Focus on your positive traits, okay? What you can give to the world. The angels keep telling me to share my story with you, so that's why I wanted to do this reading, is I wanted to share a little bit of my story with that competition mindset, and then how I started to view it from a different perspective after living in the mountains for several years. And the angels are asking you to become this luminous warrior, okay? To raise your vibration, raise your frequency as well. See things from a higher perspective, okay? From a different perspective. Make sure to maintain that compassion for society, okay? It's not us versus them. This is not a competition. Life is not a race, okay? Slow and steady wins the race. Step by step, using your intuition, using your guidance. That's your inner lighthouse. That's your inner beacon, saying, "Hey, this is the direction you need to go." It said your intention follows your attention, and there's a Native American proverb, I believe, that says what you water will grow. And I think the story is referring to plants in that particular one, and relating that to like anger or joy, or something along those lines. What you water will grow. That I mean, if I continue to water my plant here, it's going to grow. It's going to be healthy and beautiful. So if you continue to water negative thoughts, that aggressive competitive mindset, that us versus them, like I have to hate you because you're different than me, you're my rival team, you're a foreigner, these are all, this is the entirely wrong way to look at it, okay? We have to start remembering that we are all one. We are all connected. Again, I'll say it again, however many times I need to. We are souls having a human experience, okay? Having an earth experience. We are all going through our own little personal journeys on this planet Earth. Again, ups, downs, goods, and bads. And so we should all share in that compassion for others, okay? Be kind to somebody else. You don't know what they're going through. They might have just, their mother might have just died, or they might have just gotten left at the altar, or they might have just gone flat broke, been fired, whatever the issue is. Something bad could have just happened to that individual, and they definitely don't need you being a jerk basically to them. You need to be nice and kind. Think of others. That's compassion. Put yourself in other people's shoes, okay? Change your perspective. See from another person's perspective, from that rival school's perspective. They think the same thing about you, and you don't want that, right? You're a good person. You're a good person. So treat others the way you would want to be treated, okay? That golden rule. And I know that we're all good people out here. We are trying our best. We're trying to connect to God and the divine. We're trying to figure our lives out, okay? Thank you for hanging out with me for so long here. I hope you had your own cup of tea to enjoy. Let me know what you think about these cards, about this reading. Please leave me a message in the comment section. I'd love to share with you. Your story could help other people as well. And that's what we're trying to do here. I'm trying to remind you that we're all connected. We are one big family, okay? We are all humans here on planet Earth. We are all part of God's creation, okay? So we should be kind, we should be awesome, we should invite each other to your own kitchen table to have tea with your new friends, okay? I hope you guys consider me your new YouTube friend. I would love to have you as my new YouTube friend. Like and subscribe, ring the little bell if you want to see videos in the future pop up. And join my hive, okay? Join my community of spiritual seekers trying to find enlightenment. Take care of yourselves out there, and I will talk to you later.